Do you know what a ripoff is? Velcro. Thanks for stopping by my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do a little something different than our normal comic book editions video. I wanted to update you on a few things, and then I also wanted to tell you about something that went on at the end of 2023. Thanks for stopping by. Special welcome if you're a new subscriber. I owe a debt of gratitude to my good friend Super Russ 9000. He has a giveaway contest going on, and one of the rules is you have to be subscribed to certain channels, and I'm one of the channels that you have to be subscribed to. I haven't had a new subscriber in a while, so to see a few more come through, even if it is via this contest, means the world to me and kind of gave me that extra little oomph that I needed to kind of get restarted here in the new year. So thank you, Russ, for your friendship, for thinking about me, for wanting to include my channel. I feel honored in your giveaway. It means the world to me. He's giving away an amazing book. I'm not going to tell you what book it is, but I will leave a link to his contest rules and video where he details this contest in the description of this video. I will say it's a key book. It's a book that I don't have and a book I wish I owned. So whoever ends up getting this book is going to be one lucky duck. So thank you again, Russ, and welcome to my new subscribers. If you are a new subscriber, what I'm doing today is pretty unlike what I typically do in my weekly edited videos. I'm not going to be showing any comic books today. Instead, I really want to get into something that happened to me at the end of 2023 regarding my collecting. I talked about this a little bit in my Comic Book Editions Volume 165 video back in early October. And I kind of thought at that point I was done. There really wasn't anything left to say. But it wasn't done, and I have more to say. So let me fill you in. I'll start at the beginning. There was a comic book I wanted to purchase. It was Wonder Woman 800, the second printing 1 in 25B incentive virgin cover, which is a mouthful to say right there. My LCS did not get a copy. They didn't order enough copies to get one. So usually with the ratios and the variants, that's where I go. That's just my go-to place. But since they didn't get it in, I knew I was going to have to turn to another source. This book started and appeared to be kind of a ghost comic, even from the beginning, and prices were pretty high. I did find it online at lunaticcomics.com. I didn't know them. I had never ordered from them before, but I decided I want this book. I'm such a completist. That's one part of my collecting that I certainly wish was different or I could change about my collecting. I wish I wasn't such a completist in certain areas, but it is what it is. So I ordered the book. I spent $83.20 on this book. That's a lot for a brand new comic book. I ordered it the day it was released on August 1st, 2023. The book was marked in stock on their website. As soon as I paid for it, I got a confirmation email and the book was marked sold or sold out on their website immediately upon me paying for it. So I felt pretty good that there really wasn't anything left to do but sit and wait for the book. One thing I did do, though, at the time of checkout was use the Shop app. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that or not, but the Shop app gives you the opportunity to bust your order into 4 payments. And since it was a little bit on the higher side, I thought, I don't think I want to pay for $83 and change all at once. I'd rather bust it into 4 payments every 2 weeks. So I had used the Shop app in that method a couple of times on a couple other merchants before and really had no problem and anticipated no problem this time around. How wrong I was. So I'm sitting here, I'm waiting for my book to ship. I figure it's going to ship immediately because it's in stock. And I wait and I don't get my book. So on August 18th, I reached out to them, sent a very kind message through their email, just saying, hey, just checking to see if my order had shipped yet, or if you know when it is going to order. Never got a reply. So I wait a few more weeks. In the meantime, I'm still making my payments every 2 weeks to them. I wait a few more weeks and I'm on the Shop app and I'm trying to look to see what you could do for disputes or if a seller doesn't send an item or what my options are. I kind of assumed it would be like PayPal. It isn't. PayPal is so much better and so much more user-friendly with their buyer protection. Anyway, so I did see an option. It says here, you send a message through us. And I thought, okay, I'll do that. Maybe that will reach them. And I sent them a message. I basically just copied and pasted the first message that I sent, very kind, professional, and friendly. And I saw when it said message sent and it gave me the email address. It was the same email address that I had used initially when I reached out on my own on the 18th. I get no reply. So I'm kind of, the writing on the wall is starting to really come into focus pretty good at this point. They're not going to send my book. And it was a few days before I was about to make my last payment, my fourth and final payment. I looked on their app again, on the shop app, to see what I could do. And I went back later on trying to find this on their website, and I couldn't find it, but I know 100% that I saw this. It said, if you have a dispute, we can't help you. You will have to reach out to your bank or your credit card issuer. And I thought, oh, great. So I'm going to go file a dispute. I call my credit card company and I inform them of what's going on with the dispute department. And I'm like 2 or 3 days away from making that fourth and final payment. And they said, well, they can file dispute charges on the first 3 already, and then I can recontact them again for the fourth, or I can wait till that's all done and then make them all at once. And I thought that probably would be a better ploy. So they said it would have to be 10 days after the last payment is made before I can call back and file anything, because you still have to give them a chance to ship the book out to you, even though I was expecting the book to ship immediately when I made the initial order back on August 1st. So, okay, I wait for the payment to clear. I wait the additional 10 days and I contact them. I file and go through for some documentation on some stuff. And I went through it, filed this paperwork, and then I wait. Could take a while. What I ended up finding out later, that the credit card company waits just under a month, about 25 days from the day you file, before they even reach out to the seller. And the reason is just in case there's some type of slow shipping, or the seller really did send it and then this doesn't become, it isn't a problem anymore because I got the item. But that never happened. Never heard from the seller, never got my item. So it's about, almost a month after the fourth payment when my credit card company reaches out to the seller with these dispute charges. There's 4 separate dispute charges. And I'm waiting a little bit, and it sounds like the seller isn't responding to my credit card company, because I keep checking in every couple days. I'm looking, and a little more time has passed since then. So at this point right now, I ordered this August 1st, 2023. We're in October-ish, 2023, mid to slightly mid to late October 2023 at this point. And finally, I see that the seller responded to 1 of the 4 chargebacks that was being done. And I called my credit card company and I said, well, what type of information did they provide? Because I'm like, the seller is actually trying to dispute the fact that the chargeback shouldn't happen. I'm like, how can you do that? You didn't send the book. So what my credit card company said, they looked and they said all they did was sent the terms of negotiation, or the terms of agreement for when I made the purchase off of their website. They said it looked like it was copied and pasted just on 1 of the chargeback disputes, and they never even bothered to ever reply to the other 3 disputes. So I filed whatever they needed me to, or responded whatever way they needed me to, and they're waiting to hear back from them. A little more time passes. The first of those chargebacks, the one where they responded with the terms and agreements, that gets credited to me because they never responded. So it gets favored in my favor. That's when my problem started. I thought I had problems before. That's when my problem started. The other 3 charges, they just never responded to. So it still has to continuously time out because they have so many days to reply to my credit card company's chargeback request. But when that first chargeback happened, Affirm is the company that I guess essentially makes a loan on your behalf and pays the seller off, and then you're paying Affirm back for it. Affirm starts reaching out to me. And at first, it's like every couple days. I get an email saying, hey, you need to make this payment. And I'm like, I have made this payment. You know, technically, I have made the payment. They didn't ship the item. And I get an email, and it would say, reply above. If you need support, reply above on this email. So I wrote everything down, detailed on everything. And I send it. No reply. And then about 2 days would pass and I'd get the exact same email again. So I would copy and paste and send it back. No reply. A couple days later, I get an email again. You got to make your payment. And I'm like, are you guys even reading this? It says if I need support to write my reply here and send it. And I'm doing this and you guys aren't even acknowledging anything that I'm saying. So this continues to go on. But then in November, they start calling me. And not only are they calling me, they start saying, we're going to take you to a collection agency. And I'm like, first of all, I'm very fortunate because I've worked hard, just being honest. I have a really great credit. My credit score is like in the 820s. It just is. So I'm proud of that. I don't want someone dinging my credit, especially when I didn't do anything wrong. And I'm telling these people on the phone what happened. And they're like, if I've heard them say this to me once, I have heard this umpteen times from Affirm. You made the promise of, you took out a loan with the promise of paying this back, and now you're reneging on that. Maybe they didn't say the word renege, but that's what they were saying. You made this and you have to pay this back. And I say, I just don't want to pay for something that I didn't get. And I just keep going rounds. I'm talking to supervisors. You can't talk to anyone in the United States. You're talking to people in another country. That's not speculation. I specifically asked. I said, I want to talk to someone in the United States. They said something about we can't transfer you. You have to dial this number and extension 14. And then there's no way to ever get extension 14. It's not an option. I tried even just punching it in too during the, when the phone picks up and it doesn't work. So I'm getting nothing but frustrated with these people. And I'm getting calls every day. I get a call every day. I'll get an email every day. Everything I'm getting is from Affirm saying, you have to pay this. And I actually asked one of them, I said, why do I have to pay for something that I didn't get? And I said, one of them said to me, provide us proof that you didn't get it. I'm like, you're asking the wrong person. You should ask the seller to provide proof that they sent it, because they can't, because they didn't. And another thing that happened when I'm dealing with these people from Affirm, and I mean, I'm talking to everyone at Affirm, supervisors, everyone. Another thing that they said was, sorry, I'm starting to lose my train of thought here. So another thing that they said was, well, just contact your credit card company and have them reverse the charge so it goes through, and then we'll take care of it. And I said, I don't want to do that. I'm not comfortable with that. I said, I finally got someone that's helping me get my money back. You guys don't want to help me get my money back. I finally found someone who's helped me want to get my money back. I don't want to do that. And they're like, well, that's what you're going to have to do, because then we'll get your money back. And I'm so glad I didn't do that, because like a day or two later, I got an email from another supervisor that I'd never talked to before saying, you know, your order is so old that we couldn't do anything about getting your money back for you anyway. And I thought, oh, you shady people, you crooked, shady people. So I'm so glad that I did not listen to them, because I think that it just would have kept and made my situation worse and just kept this thing rolling. I was so stressed out beyond belief. These people at Affirm pushed me to a level of anger that I didn't even know I had in me. I'm not even proud to say that. I didn't even know I had it in me. But they just pushed me to that. It's like they have the screen that they're reading and they can't deviate to what a person's saying because what I'm saying to them, the answer isn't on their screen. It was so frustrating. I can't even express to you how frustrating it was. Anyway, I'm talking to friends in the comic book community and I'm like, what do I do? And I'm expressing my frustration. One of my great friends says to me, why don't you reach out to Lunatic Comics on social media and see if you can contact them? So I did. And I sent them a message and I was just pretty much blunt. And I said, hey, this is what happened. This is the order number. I placed it. I never got the order. I had to do these chargebacks. And now I'm getting static from Affirm. They're threatening my credit. I'm not trying to rip you off. I just want to not pay for something that I didn't get. And I just kind of sent this message out through Instagram direct message. And of course, they don't read it. And I'm like 5-6 days goes by and no reply, haven't read it. I'm just so frustrated. I'm like, what type of seller, you know? And then finally, out of the blue, I did get a reply from them. And they said, oh, so sorry. We'll check into that right now. And then they came back and they said, oh, we never did get that book. We've refunded you. So then I did get all my problems with Affirm and by using the shop app went away instantly. After the seller said, yeah, okay, we didn't get the book. It's fine. Now, I do appreciate the seller doing that. But at the same time, too, do you know how much of a headache you could have saved me and how much stress you could have saved me just by replying instantly, maybe the first time? I mean, I'm happy with the seller that at least they helped get Affirm off of my back. But Affirm should have stood up for me, you know, like PayPal has their buyer protection. This is not a call to action. I'm not telling you to boycott Lunatic Comics. I'm not telling you to boycott the shop app or Affirm. You do what you need to do. Just remember, and at least you know what happened to me, because I don't want the stress of what happened to me to happen to you. And this story has gone on way longer than I ever anticipated it to be. But I debated back and forth if I should even tell this story or share this story or not. Like I said, I touched on it a little bit in that one comic book editions video, but I didn't know if, I don't know, but I just finally thought I just think being aware and educated of things, knowledge is power, and I want you to be powered up about the situation. On a happy note, yeah, I did end up getting a copy of it from somewhere else, from a different seller that was able to get a copy and fulfill this. So for me in my future, with all the parties involved, I would never use the shop app or Affirm with a seller that I didn't know and trust. I'm just going to throw that out there. That's going to be my stance going forward. And I haven't used it since. I'm going to try as little as possible. But if I ever do have to use it, it has to be a seller I trust, because I can't go through what I went through again. It was, even thinking about it right now, I can just feel my blood pressure boiling. And it's too much. So learn from your friend here. Don't make some of the mistakes that I made, even though I didn't know I was making a mistake at the time. That's the end of that rant. Let's talk about happier things, okay? Let me tell you what's coming up on the channel. So I've been gathering a lot of content, or working on trying to gather some content to share with you in the new year that I'm really excited about. Probably the first things when it comes to showing comic books that I'm going to be sharing on my channel, I have a Christmas haul that includes some great comic books and some other superhero related things that came from my awesome friend, Mr. Fridge Art. That will be dropping on my YouTube channel. It's going to be a long video, but there's so much good stuff in it that I hope that you watch through the entire thing, because he blew my mind. He absolutely just blew my mind with how much he sent and some of the stuff he sent. So that will be exciting. My good friend Comics for Thomas has sent me an AOK, and we usually like to do the AOK unboxings live. So there'll probably be some type of impromptu live hangout stream on my show in the next few days to a week or so. So I look forward to that coming up too. So make sure the notifications are turned on so you don't miss that too. I'm looking forward to that. We did Fanboys Live in the Retro Review this past weekend, and I had some of the most fun I've ever had. You will genuinely see me, our special guest, silver-haired Bronze Age Babe, plus Signature King Tony Fett and Comic Food 2814. You will see us laughing uncontrollably and can't stop at some points. I just loved how that stream turned out this past weekend. The Retro Review was on First Issue Special, which was a short-lived series by DC Comics in the mid-1970s. And we spotlighted issues with Metamorpho, Lady Cop, Warlord, and Dr. Fate. The Lady Cop story especially is the one to catch on the Retro Review. So if you haven't seen that, it's archived on my channel, so catch the rewind on that. It's a long stream, but we had so much fun, and I hope that you would have as much fun watching it as we had doing it. Even at the end, too, and there's conversations about giant-sized man thing and all sorts of stuff. It's just a fun stream. So Fanboys Live in the Retro Review, this week will be my pick, still on my channel this upcoming Sunday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, 7:15 p.m. Central. Look forward to seeing you there. And then there's the back issue of the week YouTube short. The one that's out right now, our current one, is Black Canary focused. Remember when Black Canary got a new costume in the 1980s? Yeah, that god-awful costume. That's the issue in the story that is kind of the spotlight of the back issue of the week. It's just a YouTube short that lasts 60 seconds. So check that out as well. So that kind of gives you an update of the channel and what's going on. And just to share my experience, hopefully I won't have experiences like this to share in the future. I know it almost kind of seems to be the norm or the bandwagon to have a hater video. And that wasn't my intention. And like I said, it's not a call to action in this video. It's just sharing with you what I went through. And no offense to the parties that I talked about today, but if you're not happy with what I've said in today's video about you, you shouldn't have done it. Just saying. I'm usually not like that, but can only get pushed so far. Anyway, I'm off for now. Hope that you have a safe, healthy, and successful week. I'll look for you on Fanboys Live this upcoming Sunday on my YouTube channel. And very soon again with new content, comic book edition videos for 2024. Take care.